Welcome to Linda's Keys to Academic Success. In this episode, we're talking about a new program on campus that is connecting students of color to vocational exploration opportunities and community partnerships. The Leaders of the Line program focuses on structured workshops, peer mentoring, and network opportunities. This will help create a better sense of belonging on campus, which will also improve retention and graduation rates. Stay tuned to learn more about this exciting program on campus.
This is Linda's Keys to Academic Success. Join Linda Hatfield as she speaks with Muskingum University students, faculty, and staff about the resources and strategies to help students succeed. Linda's Keys to Academic Success is brought to you by WMCO and the Spring 2023 Media Seminar class at Muskingum University.
First, we're going to speak to Malek Stewart. And Malek, thank you for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you.
Can you just start out by telling us your title and just a little bit about yourself and what you do here at Muskingum?
Of course. My name is Malek Stewart. I am the Associate Director of Cultural Engagement and Inclusion. That is a new position. I'm the first one to have that position here. I've been here for about 6 months, started in that September, October-ish time. I work with Valerie Smith, who is our Director of Cultural Engagement and Inclusion, and we serve all of our students of color, international students, to make sure that that transition here and to graduation is fulfilled.
Okay, so you addressed a question I had as to what is the mission of that CEI office. So you did tell me that, so that's good. Moving on, issues of social justice, cultural heritage, and diverse perspectives, which you do that. So today we're going to be talking mostly about the Leaders of the Line, which is a new program. So can you tell me a little bit about how it came to be on campus?
Absolutely. Thankfully, we have some great people here at Muskingum University who write a lot of grants, and we were able to obtain this grant after writing it from NetView. This NetView grant has granted us the great responsibility, I would say, to look after our Black male students and looking at them in cohorts as a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior cohorts, and make sure that we are doing things to help them progress every year and within the academic year.
Okay. So I have worked a lot with NetView. I was part of an advising group and have gone to several NetView conferences. Just for those that don't know what that acronym stands for, it's the Network for Vocation and Undergraduate Education, and it's through the Council of Independent Colleges. So I've learned a lot about what NetView does, and this is one of the great things about NetView is it gives money to universities who are trying to do things that can really improve the lives and the academic standing of students on campus. So tell me some opportunities that participants in the Leaders of the Line have taken part in so far in this new program.
Absolutely. So we have, I would say, two different departments within Leaders of the Line. We have our mentorship program where we have seniors who are mentoring our freshman students, which has been wonderfully successful. And that has gone on since the inception of this academic year. Then we also have some career development, some development just for our overall students, looking at vocational opportunities, looking at just the holistic person as a whole for each cohort. So each month we have focused on a different cohort. January being our seniors, February being our juniors, March being our sophomores, and then this month as in April being our freshmen, which has gone really well as well. Been able to bring in some speakers and have them speak on different topics just to progress our students and know where they're going in life.
And just as a highlight, I think we're going to be talking to some of those students and one of your guest speakers later in the podcast,
Correct.
Which is exciting. I understand that with you pair an upperclassman with a new student. How does this partnership work? How do they pair up? How do you know who to pair up, and what do they do together?
Yes, there's a lot that goes into it, but we try to make it simple, of course.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of feedback that we have gotten from our senior mentors, looking at who would they like to mentor, who do they already have a connection with, whether that's through our extracurricular activities, whether that's through just mutual friendships, hometowns, whatnot. And then we kind of look at personalities, look at our first year students on what their needs are and what our mentors have to offer. But mostly it's looking at what our mentors feel comfortable with, what our mentees feel comfortable with. And our selection process, although it probably has not been the most rigorous thing, it's been something that's been very, very helpful. And that's really worked out so far.
Good. So I know that the NetView grant has been really, has brought this program here. So far, just we're going to talk more later in the podcast, but just how do you think it's going so far? Do you think it's being successful?
Yes, absolutely. I think we will have data come out probably sometime in May that we kind of look at our demographics and see how they have progressed through the program. I think it's been wildly successful. It has over-delivered for some students, and those measures can't be even spoken upon as of yet. But there's more to come. I think as successful as the program has been, I am greatly enthusiastic about where it will go and where we'll go in the years to come.
Okay, so don't go anywhere because you're going to come back. We're going to talk to two of the students that are involved in the program, and then we'll bring you back.
Absolutely.
All right.
This episode of Linda's Keys to Academic Success is sponsored by Wally's Pizza. Visit Wally's Pizza at 15 West Main Street in New Concord. Hours of operation are Monday through Saturday, 10:30 to 10. Thanks to Wally's Pizza for supporting Linda's Keys.
Hey Muskies, it's Dr. Hilton from the Department of History here at Muskingum. I want to encourage you to utilize student drop-in hours. It's an opportunity to make sure you're on track to having academic success, to ensure you understand class material and upcoming assignments, and to have a conversation about how class is going. So stop in and see your faculty.
Listen to Season 2 of the podcast, Linda's Keys to Academic Success. The podcast focuses on ways for students to excel in college. You can find previous episodes on your favorite podcast platform. That's Linda's Keys to Academic Success.
All right, so we are here with two of the men of the line, the leaders of the line, and I'm here with Justin Jones and Cedrice Bennett. And so I'm going to be asking you some questions, and I actually may have you asking each other questions. Who knows? We'll just get crazy and see how it goes. So, Justin, tell me a little bit about yourself and your journey here at Muskingum. You are the mentor in this situation.
Yeah. So my name is Justin Jones. I am a senior. I hail from Cleveland, Ohio, but I currently reside in Macedonia, Ohio. I went to Lawrence Upper High School, which is a little private high school in Northfield, which is about, I would say, 5 minutes away from my house, my hometown. How I got here, I was actually originally coming here to play basketball. I played for over 10 years of my life. And one of my teammates that I played with, he graduated 2 years ahead of me. He actually ended up graduating from here. His name was Christian Manna. I was going to come and check this school out because he went here and he told me how wonderful of a place it was. And I was just like, okay, why not? I'll check it out. I remember having the tour way back, I want to say it was spring of 2019. And it was just man, I like this place. I didn't check any other college out. I applied to 5 others, got into all of them, but this was the one where I felt like I want to be here. It's not too far from my house. It's about a 2-hour drive, but it's also it's also close enough where if I need to go home for an emergency, I can be here. So it's a little bit about me.
All right. So one thing you didn't tell me, what is your major? What do you do?
I'm a sports admin major, and I'm also, I have an athletic comm as my minor. And if I choose to, I can get a communications minor as well next semester. Talented
young man you are there. All right. Cedrice, tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Cedrice Bennett. My major, I intend to do nursing. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, but we ventured out because I'm a military kid, so we've been everywhere. So I've been to North Carolina, California, Colorado, Pennsylvania, and then I live in Maryland right now. I came here because so I had a football offer in Georgia, and I didn't take it because it was like, okay, well, because it was like a prep school, so I was like, I want to go to a university where I can, still do my sports and then still have a good education. So I came here because it's the number one nursing program in the state. So I was like, why not? Like, we definitely have to come here. And then I picked up track. So I mean, now I'm doing both sports. It's really cool. It's really great. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool being here. He helped me out. Justin helped me out a lot. Trying to fit in and try to get me to be like, okay, well, this is like I could be kind of comfortable here. So I mean. Yeah, and also I'm 6 hours away from here too, from home. So I mean, it's not that far, but it is kind of far, but it's not that far. So I mean, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with what you just said. So, Justin, what do you think you did to make Cedrice feel more comfortable here in Muskingum County, rural Ohio, when he's been all over the world? All over the country anyway? How did you make him feel more comfortable?
Just trying to be like a big brother to him. I mean, I know, like, when I first came here, I didn't really have like that person to really look up to. So when this like program started, this was like a perfect opportunity for me to be that type of role model. Trying to interact with him. I make him dinners and all that stuff. Actually, yesterday, we had like a big little dinner. At their dorm, so just trying to give like that home sense, since I know he's so far away, and being able to give back is just something like that's part of my personality. I'd rather somebody else like happy first rather than me. It's just how I grew up and how my parents took care of me. So I'm just trying to do the same thing.
That is great, and I'm gonna have to learn more about this dinner thing. So, so do you feel like either one of you can answer this question? Do you feel like Leaders of the Line is a needed program on campus? And if you do, why do you think that?
Well, you want to go first?
I can go first. I think the program is definitely needed because, I mean, I know there's not really many like African American students like down here, and if they are, they're mainly here because of sports and not really anything else. So it's kind of just like a way of getting them like out of their comfort zone and making sure that they feel like they're also like needed and welcome here as well. I don't want them feeling like ostracized or anything like that. So just being able to get them come out, hang out, socialize, meeting new people, and building those connections, which will help them later in the future, trying to get jobs in their like profession. So
true.
I think Leaders of the Line is definitely needed because like you said, like coming in, we're in a rural area, and some people, like, there's a lot of people from different places like Florida and things like that. So it's like coming here, it's like kind of scary because it's like you're not used to everything. You feel like you don't fit in. So then when you have Brothers of the Line, it's like you have mentors and they help you out, and like you have other mentees to like kind of relate around and stuff like that. So it's like a little family. Like even though we have like our separate mentors, it's like a big family all together because we're always all together when like we have big events. And I think it's just that you just don't want to feel ostracized, and it's just a great time. I think it's just a great time for especially our Black men to all come together and have a great bond and at least just have fun and try to relate as much as we can. So
the mentor mentee has benefited both of you, I can see. Yeah. So tell me about some of the other experiences that they've offered through Leaders of the Line, like speakers and things. And I noticed from the people that followed you here, there is a big group of men here that are supporting each other. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I know like the programs that we do have. One of them I know we had recently. I think it was, I want to say last month. We had like two speakers come in and they were like telling us about like financial like information that, I mean, not everybody knows, and like how to build up credit and all that stuff for when we need to like get a house or purchase a car or anything like that. I remember one of the things that one of the speakers was talking about, like when you get like a credit card and all that, use it for like small like purchases, but like make sure that you pay it on time. Like one of them, I actually do this like currently right now is like I use my credit card to pay for gas. So I can build that credit up, and I know it's like not too expensive to purchase because I don't put any like more than like $20 on that card like each time because I'm not trying to run that up. And then like having motivational speakers come in. One of our I hope he's gonna be a mentor in the future. His name is Julian, and his cousin came in and told us about like his little backstory, and like he's I think 26, if I remember correctly.
Something like that.
But he like graduated like high school early and finished college early, and he's got like his own like business and stuff, like all that's like age, like I'm getting to that. I'm only about 4 years like behind that, so, and he's got that all accomplished, and it's crazy to see like how much he's accomplished, and him being African American is like, it's empowering to us because I mean, some of us don't even believe that we can even get to that area, let alone just be where we're at right now. So,
well, I'm telling you, I could talk to you for another hour because this is really interesting to me. But unfortunately, our time is up with the two of you. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much for sharing your story about being a mentor and a mentee in the Leaders of the Line.
Well,
thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
This episode of Linda's Keys to Academic Success is sponsored by Wally's Pizza. Visit Wally's Pizza at 15 West Main Street in New Concord. Hours of operation are Monday through Saturday, 10:30 to 10. Thanks to Wally's Pizza for supporting Linda's Keys.
Hey Muskies, it's Dr. Hilton from the Department of History here at Muskingum. I want to encourage you to utilize student drop-in hours. It's an opportunity to make sure you're on track to having academic success, to ensure you understand class material and upcoming assignments, and to have a conversation about how class is going. So stop in and see your faculty.
Listen to Season 2 of the podcast, Linda's Keys to Academic Success. The podcast focuses on ways for students to excel in college. You can find previous episodes on your favorite podcast platform. That's Linda's Keys to Academic Success.
I'm back, and I am with Malek, and we have another guest that has joined us, Ramon Davenport. You are speaking, Ramon, you're speaking to the Leaders of the Line this evening. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and why you're here and part of this program?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I'm just grateful to be here. When I got that phone call, I said, oh, wow, I haven't been back to Muskingum for a while. I'm a graduate of 1998. So I've seen a lot of things. When I got off the highway, I said, wow, this place has really took shape. Mm-hmm. Back when I was here, it was a college. Now it's a university. So that's showing my age, but, Mm-hmm. But yeah, currently I reside in Cincinnati, Ohio. When I was here at Muskingum, I was a communications major. I graduated from Muskingum in 98, and I got my first job right out of college, and it was in education. So I don't know how that happened, but, I took the job because I needed to pay some bills, and I've been in education almost 25 years now. I actually managed the largest charter school in Ohio. It's called Don Community High School. And I've been doing that for a while now, and I've also have branched off to manage other charter schools in the state of Ohio. So I'm on more of the business side now. I've been a principal, I've been a superintendent, but now I'm more on the business side of education. And it's been a very good blessing for me to kind of see how education is going, and to still be part of the education.
Okay. I read your bio, and you do work with students at risk. Mm-hmm. Okay. And and Malek, you can chime in on this as well. How does our men of color here in the Leaders of Line and students of risk, how do those two topics and two things go together?
Mm-hmm. Well, I could say, a lot of the students that come, they probably are in, the inner city. And quite naturally, in the inner city, there's quite a few issues. Not saying that it's not like that in the suburban or the rural areas, but in the inner city, you have a lot. You have a lot of things that are going on. A lot of the schools are underfunded. Less resources that you got to work with. And so a lot of the kids, they come from that background, and I'm pretty sure, a lot of them venture up to Muskingum University just like I did. And so, I'm just I'm floored by this program that Malek is heading up, because I didn't have this when I was here. And so just having a mentor, somebody that you can kind of call when you need, to talk to somebody is vital to making it into, a place that is outside of the inner city.
Yeah. Ditto everything that Mr. Ramon said. I think obviously we want retention rates to go up with our students. And when we talk about at-risk students, I think not only Muskingum is alone in this, but universities across America, our Black males are not matriculating and graduating at the rates that they should be. We know and we hope that this program helps greatly in that area. But this is the first step to making sure that our Black males are graduating and being part of the long magenta line.
I would love to see that. So in my job, I work with, I'm an academic coach, and I do work with a lot of African-American black men coming in my office. Mm-hmm. And I know from what Cedric said that sometimes he feels like, there aren't a whole lot of people that look like him mm-hmm. on our campus. Mm-hmm. Now, I noticed that students of all colors, and especially after COVID, are really struggling with when something gets hard, mm-hmm. they kind of want to give up. Mm-hmm. This being able to cope mm-hmm. with the hard things that are happening. Mm-hmm. How do you see leaders of the line and speakers coming in? How do you see those things helping them with this issue?
Absolutely. I think we all want a sense of home. We all want, when things get tough, to go back to our home base and recalibrate and just get back to a sense of safeness. And that's what we're trying to create. I think this sense of safeness, this sense of home, this sense of just male bonding and male safeness and secureness is what a mentorship is designed to create. To have people that look like you, who know where you come from, who really can identify with you and really understand more than anybody else what you're going through at this campus in particular, is what the mentorship brings that we hope to keep going. To have somebody like Ramon who can come back and really say, hey, I've done it and this is who I am as a person, again, is something that's unspeakable. It's something that I don't know who else could do that. So huge thanks to Ramon to even be able to come back and really put himself and see not only where someone is after they graduate, but can really give them the blueprint on how to do this.
That sense of belonging is very important, and I appreciate that the leaders of the line is building that and building in that resilience that our men of color really need. So I appreciate, thank you both for being here with me today.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This episode of Linda's Keys to Academic Success is sponsored by Wally's Pizza. Visit Wally's Pizza at 15 West Main Street in New Concord. Hours of operation are Monday through Saturday, 10:30 to 10. Thanks to Wally's Pizza for supporting Linda's Keys.
Hey Muskies, it's Dr. Hilton from the Department of History here at Muskingum. I want to encourage you to utilize student drop-in hours. It's an opportunity to make sure you're on track to having academic success, to ensure you understand class material and upcoming assignments, and to have a conversation about how class is going. So stop in and see your faculty.
Listen to Season 2 of the podcast, Linda's Keys to Academic Success. The podcast focuses on ways for students to excel in college. You can find previous episodes on your favorite podcast platform. That's Linda's Keys to Academic Success.
As we wrap up the second season of Linda's Keys to Academic Success, I always try to wrap up the episodes with talking about how our guests and the things that we talked about tie into the keys, Linda's Keys to Academic Success, those 13 things that we talk about throughout the whole podcast. I think today's guests all kind of first of all, focus on knowing about and utilizing campus resources, because Leaders of the Line is a resource. It's a new resource, but it is a resource that our CEI office found a need for and then found funding for and was able to bring it to fruition. And I can tell already that it's having a big impact on campus. I think also each one of these guests in their version of what they talked to me about. Purpose drives motivation. Why are you here at Muskingum? So each one of them had a different reason for being here, whether it was sports that brought them here, a friend brought them here, that kind of thing. They ended up here. And as Cedric said, you know, he not always found someone, a lot of people that looked like him. So the ability for leaders of the line to tie these people together, to give them that sense of belonging that can help them and drive that motivation. I liked having Justin and Cedric here together because they talked about how their conversations and their dinners and their, you know, just their bonding it made Cedric feel a little bit more at home here. And I knew Justin feels at home here too, and from what he said. So all of that goes together to really drive the motivation of what are you going to do when things get hard? What are you going to do when a class is difficult and the grades aren't what you want them to be? So having this resource on campus is really a great benefit to our people of color on the campus. The other one I'm going to tie in is evaluating, you know, what did you learn about yourself? I can tell that Justin, you know, he's in his last semester here. And so he is taking what he learned about himself and sharing it with Justin, or sharing it with Cedric, I should say. And being able to see what you're learning and take it and move it forward and to move you into your future is going to give both of them and the other people that are part of the leaders of the line, help them find their success that they're looking for. So we're closing this up. This is the end of our second season, and I just thank you all for joining us this season. We have talked to some really, really interesting people on campus that are finding their success, using the keys to academic success to push them forward, using their resources, and I think Muskingum is a good place to be if you want to find academic success.
Linda's Keys to Academic Success is produced at WMCO Studios at Muskingum University by Seth Roseberry and Kailyn Shalosky as part of the Spring 23 Media Senior Seminar class. Host Linda Hatfield is an education support specialist at Muskingum University. She teaches Keys to Academic Success, a class to help students dig into skills, tools, and strategies to help them focus on academics and find success in college. Linda has a master's degree in library and information sciences from the University of Pittsburgh and has been an educator for over 25 years. Any reproduction or use of this program without written consent from WMCO is prohibited. Thank you for tuning in to Linda's Keys to Academic Success.